有雲，衣食住行。隨着時代嘅進步，人類對住嘅要求越嚟越高。設計師Yukio與你暢談室內設計心得，為你介紹流行嘅設計風格，同你一齊築自室。
咦？歡迎收睇第3節築自室，我係 Yukio，
我係 Natalie。
我發覺咗一件事咧，今日在線人數多咗咁多人嘅，係咪真㗎？呢個在線人數
應該係嘅。
係咪因為多咗人訂閱我哋嘅節目？因為呢個跑馬節目之後，跟住多咗好多人去訂閱我哋嘅節目。
咁都好啊。
係啊，每個禮拜都中喎，好似，所以我唔識到。
係，我都唔識。
咁可以揾翻2餐係咪？
學下啦，咁你睇早啲上嚟睇節目咯。
早啲上嚟睇嗰個節目，好似真係佢哋每個禮拜都中啊！不過通常我一買就唔中咯，即係等於Patrick 嗰個股票節目咧，佢哋如果講出啲 number，我基本係燈神嚟㗎。
咁我哋調轉得唔得咧？即係你買10蚊咁樣唔中，然之後我買100蚊咁樣，
永遠都唔得㗎呢啲事情。Anyway，係啊，我哋今日仲係講緊呢個竹嘅，係咪？上一節講到，上一節講到你話蘑菇嚇，
蘑菇係。
而家蘑菇，因為蘑菇咪蘑菇就好，我突然間話你個形容詞好好咧，就係因為其實蘑菇 which is 真係阿 Hardy 嘅其中一個諗法嚟嘅。
哦。
咁咧第3節會做啲咩咧？第3節咧就係其實我其實係喺做緊呢個 research 嘅時候咧，其實我就上網就忽然之間睇到呢條片。咁咧就係一個11分鐘到嘅演講嚟嘅，咁就係 Hardy 嘅演講嚟。即係點解我會揾得到今日所有節目內容嘅一啲片咧？就係因為我睇完嗰個演講咧，我就發覺哇好犀利啊佢！即係佢嗰個即係我唔知你有冇睇過 Steve Jobs 嘅演講啦。
係。
即係佢哋嗰啲係浮誇係㗎嘛，即係一出嚟就要好型，係啦，佢哋嗰啲iPhone 7咁樣，跟住佢哋嗰啲好浮誇嗰啲，因為其實我好中意聽人哋同埋睇人哋演講嘅，即係好睇嘅，好 inspire 嘅。係譬如即係睇好多戲咧，好多時咪即係嗰啲末日反擊戰嗰啲，到最後嗰個總統永遠都會出嚟演講，
好有威嚴咁樣企。
即係其實一啲演講係好好睇。咁啊 Hardy 呢個演講咧，其實我一睇就係俾佢吸引住嘅，即係佢係一個好subtle嘅一個演講。
但係 Hardy 爸爸定 Hardy 女女咧？
Hardy 自己 Hardy 女。
哦。咁
佢嗰個演講咧，其實佢我自己 feel 啦，我唔知，因為其實我斬開咗一半嘅。咁你睇完第一節啦，你又可以就而家分享啦。即係我覺得佢講嘅時候咧，其實佢唔係太過好自信嘅，即係佢講嗰個演繹方式咧，佢唔係好自信。咁但係佢對於佢自己嗰個理念係好堅信嘅。
即係佢係想好似同啲audience 分享佢嘅 idea 咁。
係啦，即係佢唔係一樣好自信，你信我啦，我係神，你拜我就，即係佢唔係嗰隻嚟嘅。但係佢對於自己堅持嗰個理念咧，佢係好有一個堅持喺度，
同埋好有理想啊！
係啦，好有理想，同埋你睇佢隻眼咧，你會見到佢真係好用心去做呢一件事嘅。咁可能我自己會咁樣諗咧，即係佢其實喺Chicago 跟住讀到一本書，因為俾佢爸爸影響，跟住翻咗嚟，跟住做一樣咁有意義嘅事。可能 at the same time 佢面對好多同期嘅朋友或者同事或者同學，其實可能佢相對性做嘅嘢係好似卑微咗好多，即係喺好多人嘅眼中，但係其實佢自己係啦，但係佢自己做嘢好有意義，但係佢唔會係。即係我諗佢喺成個研究嘅過程咧，即係佢而家當然係出名啦。咁但係佢出名嘅程度都未至於係真係 worldwide 嘅 architects 咁出名。即係如果我哋唔係特登做一個咁樣嘅 session，我哋未必會發現佢啦。或者可能我自己孤陋寡聞，我未必會知啦。咁但係 at least 就佢唔係一啲非常之出名嘅一啲人。咁但係佢做呢件事係真係好有意義，同埋係我覺得。對於成個建築嘅一個未來，佢有一個好大嘅一個轉捩點同埋影響力喺度。咁佢成個 speech 其實就即係你會聽佢好似好subtle，但係就好有自信，好堅持嚟做呢件事。咁我好吸引嘅俾佢。咁啊 anyway 啦，咁啊呢個 speech 裏邊咧，佢就講咗好多點解會咁樣做啦。咁 which is 亦都講嗰啲竹嘅特性啦，譬如 點解佢哋覺得竹係 sustainable 就係因為佢好快就生咗出嚟啦。咁其實我哋之前亦都講過啦
，3-4年就可以生到出嚟。
係啦，咁已經可以用啦。同埋佢都講咗好多嗰間屋去設計嗰間屋嘅時候，佢做嘅一啲特別嘅嘢啦。咁就係啦。咁我哋可以先睇第一節去睇下佢到底嗰個演講係點樣。好似係有中文字，可以大家感受一下。
When I was 9 years old, my mom asked me what I would want my house to look like. And I drew this fairy mushroom. And then she actually built it. I don't think I realized this was so unusual at the time, and maybe I still haven't, because I'm still designing houses. This is a 6-story bespoke home on the island of Bali. It's built almost entirely from bamboo. The living room overlooks the valley from the 4th floor. You enter the house by a bridge. It can get hot in the tropics, so we make big curving roofs to catch the breezes. But some rooms have tall windows to keep the air conditioning in and the bugs out. This room we left open. We made an air-conditioned tented bed. And one client wanted a TV room in the corner of her living room. Boxing off an area with tall walls just didn't feel right. So instead, we made this giant woven pod. Now, we do have all the necessary luxuries, like bathrooms. This one is a basket in the corner of the living room. And I got to tell you, some people actually hesitate to use it. We have not quite figured out our acoustic insulation. So there are lots of things that we're still working on. But one thing I have learned is that bamboo will treat you well if you use it right. It's actually a wild grass. It grows on otherwise unproductive land, deep ravines, mountainsides. It lives off of rainwater, spring water, sunlight. And of the 1,450 species of bamboo that grow across the world, we use just 7 of them. That's my dad. He's the one who got me building with bamboo. And he is standing in a clump of Dendrocalamus asper niger that he planted just 7 years ago. Each year, it sends up a new generation of shoots. That shoot, we watched it grow 1 meter in 3 days just last week. So we're talking about sustainable timber in 3 years. Now, we harvest from hundreds of family-owned clumps. Patung, as we call it, it's really long, up to 18 meters of usable length. Try getting that truck down the mountain. And it's strong. It has the tensile strength of steel, the compressive strength of concrete. Slam 4 tons straight down on a pole, and it can take it. Because it's hollow, it's lightweight, light enough to be lifted by just a few men, or apparently 1 woman. And when my father built Green School in Bali, he chose bamboo for all of the buildings on campus because he saw it as a promise. It's a promise to the kids. It's one sustainable material that they will not run out of. And when I first saw these structures under construction about 6 years ago, I just thought, this makes perfect sense. It is growing all around us. It's strong. It's elegant. It's earthquake resistant. Why hasn't this happened sooner, and what can we do with it next? So, along with some of the original builders of Green School, I founded Ibuku. Ibu means mother, and Ku means mine, so it represents my Mother Earth. And at Ibuku, we're a team of artisans, architects, and designers, and what we're doing together is creating a new way of building. Over the past 5 years together, we have built over 50 unique structures, most of them in Bali. 9 of them are at Green Village. You've just seen inside some of these homes. And we fill them with bespoke furniture. We surround them with veggie gardens. We would love to invite you all to come visit someday. And while you're there, you can also see Green School. We keep building classrooms there each year. as well as an updated fairy mushroom house. We're also working on a little house for export. This is a traditional Sumbanese home that we replicated right down to the details and textiles. A restaurant with an open-air kitchen. Looks a lot like a kitchen, right? And a bridge that spans 22 meters across a river. Now, what we're doing, it's not entirely new. From little huts to elaborate bridges, like this one in Java, bamboo has been in use across the tropical regions of the world for literally tens of thousands of years. There are islands and even continents that were first reached by bamboo rafts. But until recently, it was almost impossible to reliably protect bamboo from insects. And so just about everything that was ever built out of bamboo is gone.
第一節就係咁樣，其實佢喺佢網上面有字幕版，如果
但係我而家
聽
聽到一半咧，我好想知道佢而家係點樣 prevent 啲蟲去咬嘅咯。
佢有啲 treatment 喺嗰個竹上面，
即係搽喺個面度咁樣。
係咁，但係即係更加多嘅相、更加多嘅 image， 你就會見到嗰棟 building 係有幾咁突出同埋幾咁特別啦。
我發現原來佢有好多其他即係嗰啲艇啊、細間嗰啲菇仔，係啦。嗰個蘑菇，嗰蘑菇就係因為佢細個，佢媽咪問佢啊，你第二時間屋想係咩樣啊？於是佢就畫咗間蘑菇屋出嚟。咁跟住佢媽咪就起咗間蘑菇屋出嚟。哦，咁即係其實佢而家做緊嘅呢一個夢想都係爹哋媽咪嘅夢想嚟嘅。咁啊，跟住所以點解你頭先話蘑菇咁，其實就即係原來好似蘑菇真係咁樣嚟嘅。同埋我發現呢個頂係灰色嘅時候好似靈芝嘅。好多種嘅菇類咁樣。咁跟住就講到好多係啦，起咗好多唔同類型嘅嘢啦。咁亦都講過嗰個竹。到底生長嘅過程，同埋佢哋只不過係喺1600幾種竹裏邊，佢而家運用咗7、8種咁上下，咁有好多佢哋都未完全去開發點樣用，咁但係淨係呢即係當10種啦，其實你已經見到有好多唔同嘅玩法。係啊。咁可想而知，其實佢哋仲係不斷咁 keep explore 緊呢件事。咁去到後段就係其實佢話竹呢一個建築物咧，並唔係即係呢10幾20年先開始去做嘅， 而係成千年開始。
係啦，即係佢話以前其實有啲人佢哋即係探索以前，跟住你啲人會發現即係有啲島啊，其實都已經有啲竹製嘅，譬如橋啊。屋啊，或者三板 which 就係嗰隻船仔啊，咁又有好多呢啲咁嘅建築喺度，但係已經係腐爛咗啦。因為俾蟲咬，俾風雨侵蝕，佢已經腐爛咗。咁所以其實佢到最尾佢就講到就係佢哋一定要 tackle 得到呢個問題，就係點樣可以令到竹可以用得再耐啲。因為如果你記得我哋之前講話竹棚咧，我哋咪話啲竹係最多用2-3年。就唔可以再 reuse 啊嘛，因為佢已經係即係飽歷風霜，已經俾啲風雨破壞晒。咁所以變咗咧，佢一定要第一件事，如果佢一定要做一個屋嘅建築用竹做咧，佢就一定要學會點樣去處理呢一樣嘢，點樣去防蟲啦，點樣去即係防雨水侵蝕啦，佢一定要處理得到啦嗰啲。係啦，咁同埋佢亦都有講過話，其實呢一樣嘢係好多地區其實都冇去嘗試去 tackle 嘅一樣嘢嚟，所以有好多好窮嘅人，佢陣間會舉例子就話我好多好窮嘅人。佢哋無論幾窮，佢都唔想用竹去起自己間屋嘅，因為過幾年佢就會冧咗或者會腐壞咗咁樣。咁所以即係跟住佢就講佢到底佢點樣 tackle 同埋呢啲即係防蟲蛀雨水嘅問題，亦都講咗佢點樣運用嗰啲竹嘅問題嘅，即係點樣去學習去運用嗰啲竹。咁所以咧就可以原來上官話咗俾我聽點解啦。之後係。呢個1級方賽馬房，咁啊啱啊，非常之好，我覺得呢個安排。Anyway， 好多1個月到應該。好啦，咁我哋再睇埋最後呢節啦。
Bamboo weathers. Untreated bamboo gets eaten to dust. And so that's why most people, especially in Asia, think that you couldn't be poor enough or rural enough to actually want to live in a bamboo house. And so we thought, what will it take to change their minds, to convince people that bamboo is worth building with, much less worth aspiring to? First, we needed safe treatment solutions. Borax is a natural salt. It turns bamboo into a viable building material. Treat it properly, design it carefully, and a bamboo structure can last a lifetime. Second, build something extraordinary out of it. Inspire people. Fortunately, Balinese culture fosters craftsmanship. It values the artisan. So combine those with the adventurous outliers from new generations of locally trained architects and designers and engineers. And always remember that you are designing for curving, tapering, hollow poles. No two poles alike, no straight lines, no 2x4s here. The tried and true, well-crafted formulas and vocabulary of architecture do not apply here. We have had to invent our own rules. We ask the bamboo what it's good at, what it wants to become. And what it says is, respect it, design for its strengths, protect it from water, and to make the most of its curves. So we design in real 3D, making scale structural models out of the same material that we'll later use to build the house. And bamboo model making, it's an art, as well as some hardcore engineering. So that's the blueprint of the house. And we bring it to site, and with tiny rulers, we measure each pole and consider each curve, and we choose a piece of bamboo from the pile to replicate that house on site. When it comes down to the details, we consider everything. Why are doors so often rectangular? Why not round? How could you make a door better? Well, its hinges battle with gravity, and gravity will always win in the end. So why not have it pivot on the center where it can stay balanced? And while you're at it, why not doors shaped like teardrops? To reap the selective benefits and work within the constraints of this material, we have really had to push ourselves. And within that constraint, we have found space for something new. It's a challenge. How do you make a ceiling if you don't have any flat boards to work with? Let me tell you, sometimes I dream of sheetrock and plywood. But if what you've got is skilled craftsmen and itsy-bitsy little splits, weave that ceiling together. Stretch a canvas over it. Lacquer it. How do you design durable kitchen countertops that do justice to this curving structure you've just built? Slice up a boulder like a loaf of bread. Hand carve each to fit the other. Leave the crusts on. And what we're doing, it is almost entirely handmade. The structural connections of our buildings are reinforced by steel joints, but we use a lot of hand-whittled bamboo pins. There are thousands of pins in each floor. This floor is made of glossy and durable bamboo skin. You can feel the texture under bare feet. And can the floor that you walk on, can it affect the way that you walk? Can it change the footprint that you'll ultimately leave on the world? I remember being 9 years old and feeling wonder and possibility and a little bit of idealism. And we've got a really long way to go. There's a lot left to learn. But one thing I know is that with creativity and commitment, you can create beauty and comfort and safety and even luxury out of a material that will grow back. Thank you.
好精彩啊嘛，好精彩嘅一個演說，我自己覺得係我哋個節目咧成日都遲嘅嚇，尤其是我嘅節目係 always overrun 嘅，所以你下個禮拜可以11點鐘先開始睇 OK。Anyway， 唔好意思，我今日有啲火，因為有一日一朝早已經係咁樣咯，所以唔關事 ，sorry 啊，唔緊要。Anyway， 我哋講翻先，你諗下先啊，係啊，咁啊講翻佢織嗰啲嘢啦，即係織嗰啲牆啦。咁你哋都講話佢真係織得好靚，同埋佢要用好多時間佢先可以織得到呢一樣嘢。 咁
我而家知道佢原來係 handmade 嘅好多，
全部都 handmade 係咪？即係要咁樣穿下，好似你有以前細個有冇玩嗰啲咧？揾嗰啲紙咧，我哋咪咁樣翹，即
啲嘢出嚟
即個藤籃咁樣。咁啊，跟住就有嗰個地下啦，即係你如果你有幻想過你踩喺嗰啲藤椅嘅感覺咧，你會發覺即係如果你赤腳行落去個地下，同我哋而家行嘅普通屋企木地板係完全唔一樣，嗰個概念係唔一樣。會唔會涼啲咧？其實涼啲，但係我諗會痛啲咯。會痛啲你有冇試過跪落去嗰啲？因為佢凹凹凸凸嘅喎，係啊，會壓咗個印出嚟咁樣。咁亦都有其中有一個即係佢講嘅就係佢嗰啲join 咧，即係嗰啲柱同埋 beam 之間嘅 join，其實佢用好多好細支嘅竹籤嘅針去鞏固，咁所以成件事就即係真係 purely 係用竹去做成個 structure。同埋個天花個 concept 我都覺得係好特別咯。係佢有啲就會即係唔係全密封啦，有啲就會留翻隻窗，用玻璃做翻隻窗去即係採光啦。咁但係我有見過1、2張相係佢夜晚着咗燈嘅。呢個係我好想知道夜晚會係點樣。咁但係佢就唔係真係非常之即係唔係好光猛嗰啲，好似有少少好似即係好似我哋露營嗰啲燈咁樣咯，即係佢唔會係真係好似我哋現代城市用嘅嗰啲燈。即係會唔會佢哋始終都係用翻橙黃嘅燈去襯翻 instead of 塊好大嘅白燈咁樣？係，即係唔會周圍都爆晒光咁啊！你見到同埋佢睇電視，其實佢都好濕圖，即係你喺裏邊長期都係一個好 relax 嘅感覺嚟。即係佢自己標咗一個好細嘅一個廳，即係一間房啦，即係一個竹圍住嘅房，跟住佢就睇嗰個電視咁。anyway， 同埋佢全部門咧有我見到佢有 multiple 嘅嗰啲旋轉門嘅喎，即係有啲係成個圓形啦，有啲係 teardrops 啦，即係有啲係雨水形。咁啊，純粹係即係盡量運用晒所有用竹可以做得到嘅 flexibilities。好啦。係啊，唔好阻人哋賭馬。咁啊差唔多啦，即係嗱，我哋 go through 咗3個禮拜啦，即係其實我自己又覺得好開心咁完成咗一個又一個 session 啦。我就覺得呢3個禮拜學咗好多嘢。係嘛？你直頭可以開始去搭棚係咪？返屋企自己攞啲竹籤嚟砌下先，屋企有好多竹籤。砌星星你有冇試過？你有冇試過揾牙籤砌星星？我有試過咧，你咧有時食中菜咧，咪有啲牙籤係好薄嗰啲咧，跟住就接三角形，係啊，然之後淋啲水落去散開。我同你終於有翻一樣係童年，大家一齊做有玩過嘅嘢。我哋有個 generation gap，但係我哋都係童年，都係中意玩牙籤咁樣。OK，咁啊係啊，咁就。係啊，咁啊好快咁3個禮拜講完竹嘅嘢啦，好希望大家會中意呢3個禮拜竹自室啦，咁就係啦，我唔好回應啦，講多錯多，好 anyway，我哋下個禮拜再見。好啦，我哋下個禮拜再見啦，拜拜。